It happened last night. My phone rang at exactly to 17 a.m. The screen said, unknown number, but somehow I recognized it. It was Sarah's number. Sarah, my best friend who died 3 years ago in a car crash. I froze. My hands shook. I picked up the call. At first, all I heard was static. Then, a faint whisper. Soft, cold, familiar. You're next. My heart stopped. Who is this? I shouted, but the call dropped. I didn't sleep that night. When I checked my call log in the morning, there was no call, not even a missed one. Just to be sure, I called her old number. And this time, a robotic voice said, this number is no longer in service. But then I saw something worse. The date of her death was July 22nd today. And now, it's almost 17 a.m. again. The phone just lit up. It's ringing. In our house, there's one door no one ever opened. It's at the end of the hallway. Old Rushdead, always locked. My parents say it's just a storeroom. There's nothing inside, but every night he hears sounds from behind it. Not rats, not creaking, voices, whispers, crying, sometimes giggling, like someone's right there, just inches away. One night I couldn't take it anymore. I pressed my ear to the door, and I swear, someone whispered my name. I ran. I didn't tell anyone who would believe me. The next night, the sounds were louder, banging, scratching, a woman sobbing. So I decided to check the lock. It wasn't even locked, it was just stuck. Why would a storeroom need to stay shut like this? The next day I asked my grandmother. Her face went pale. She just said, that room was sealed before you were born. No one is supposed to go near it, but she didn't say why. Last night, the door was slightly open, just a crack. I peered in. It was pitch black. No shelves, no boxes, no light, just darkness. And two glowing eyes staring back at me. Now every door in the house is open, except that one.
Her phone. This story comes from a user from Seattle. Wah. She got a new phone. But soon after, Siri started giving answers to questions she never asked. In the voice, it wasn't Siri anymore. At first it was subtle. Like sometimes when she'd be scrolling through her Instagram feed, Siri would randomly say things like, that S, a nice picture you have there, or you look so beautiful in that dress. She'd laugh it off, thinking it was just a glitch, but then it started to get more personal, like she'd be talking to her friends about her day, and then Siri would chime in with, you know, for someone who has a really bad memory, you sure do remember a lot of details. She had no idea what that meant. And then one time she was FaceTiming her boyfriend, and she could hear Siri in the background saying, I haven't told him yet, but I think I'm in love with someone else. She immediately hung up, called back, and asked if Siri had said something. He said, yeah. What the hell? Was it talking again? She decided to take a break from the phone, put it down, and walked away. Then she heard a whisper in her ear. She turned around, but there was no one there. She picked up her phone, and it said, you have a beautiful heart, but it beats for another. She screamed and threw the phone across the room, alone. Then she got a text from her mom. It said, running late, don't let anyone in. So the girl was like, okay, yeah, sure. She was going to take a shower. She was going to get ready, and then she would let her mom in. But then the mom sent another text that said, I'm home. The girl was confused because she thought her mom was still at work. So she got her phone, and she went upstairs to check on her mom. When she got to her mom's room, she saw that her mom was indeed there, but she wasn't alone. There was a man in the room with her, and he was kind of touching her mom inappropriately. The girl was like, whoa, what's going on here? Then her mom turned around and she said, oh, hey, you're home early. The girl was like, yeah, no, I just got your text. You said you were running late and I thought I should check on you. Her mom was like, oh, well, we just got home early from work and this is actually your dad. He just, he got a promotion and we're celebrating. The girl was like, oh, okay. She was a little suspicious because her dad didn't have a job and her mom never came home early ever. But she was like, oh, well then I guess I'll leave you guys alone. As she was leaving, she was thinking to herself, wait a second. If my dad got a promotion, why did my mom send me that text saying don't let anyone in? If she was coming home with her boss or her boss's husband, that makes sense. No. But she said not to let anyone in. So does that mean that this isn't really my dad? Anyways, she went downstairs to get some food when she heard her mom scream. She ran upstairs to check on them, and she saw that her mom was crying and her dad was holding a gun. The girl was terrified. She didn't know what to do, and her dad pointed the gun at her and he said, "Get out of here. You're not welcome here anyways." The girl called the cops and she told them everything. The cops showed up and they arrested her dad. They took him away and then they asked her, "So who is this guy? How is he your dad?" The girl was like, "What? What do you mean? It's my dad." Then the mom said, "That's not your dad. That's my husband. We got married 3 years ago after your dad left us. Why didn't you tell her, John?" He was like, "I didn't want her to get all emotional and ruin my big
But when they turned to look at their child, he whispered, "She comes every night when you're asleep." It was a rainy Friday night. Jason and Maya were getting ready for a dinner party. Their first night out since having a baby, but they had cancelled the babysitter earlier that day. Suddenly, ding dong, a woman stood on the porch, holding an umbrella, soaked. She smiled politely. "Hi, I'm from the agency." "I'm here for Liam." Jason frowned. "We didn't confirm anyone." The woman looked down, smiled, and said, "That's odd. He told me to come." The couple was stunned. Liam was 4 years old. Before they could respond, Liam walked to the door, pointed, and whispered, "She's the one who sits in my room when you're sleeping." Chills ran down Maya's spine. Jason asked the woman to leave. Firmly, she didn't argue. She just smiled and said, "He always forgets to tell you. See you soon." Then she walked into the dark. No car, no sound. Creeped out, they checked the baby monitor footage from past nights. And in the corner of Liam's room, at exactly 3:07 a.m. every night, a figure appeared, sitting in the rocking chair, not moving, just watching. Face blurred, hair dripping wet, like she had just come in from the rain. Was she a ghost? A stalker?
Emma loved the ocean. She booked a whale-watching trip, hoping to see orcas. The boat drifted silently when she heard its screams, high-pitched, panicked cries echoing through the water. The guide smiled nervously. Just dolphins playing. But Emma leaned over the edge and saw it an orca, massive and still, holding a dolphin in its jaws. The dolphin thrashed, blood curling into the waves like ink. Then more orcas appeared. They weren't eating. They were tearing the dolphins apart slowly like a game. Emma backed away, trembling when the water beside the boat rippled. Something huge surfaced. An orca stared at her with one black eye. It opened its mouth not to bite, but to drop a dolphin's severed head at her feet. The water went still, until something grabbed her ankle.
The human instinct is to flinch. This is unacceptable. The biointerface will temporarily lock your facial muscles. You will not be able to blink. You will not be able to swallow. If saliva accumulates, you must let it be. A still sculpture is art. A swallowing sculpture is a fraud. I felt my face get heavy. I tried to smile and couldn't. "Looking good," Rice murmured. "They're using the sarcophagus for display. False bottom for ventilation, but it's minimal. Remember Rule 3, he helped me into the suit. Italian wool, heavy, hot. The discomfort was part of the job. Rule 3, the invisible breathing protocol. The chest must not rise. Diaphragmatic breathing is mandatory. The rhythm must be 4 cycles per minute. If a patron lays their head on your chest, you must hold your breath until they leave. The required record is 3 minutes. If you pass out, do not worry. Fainting maintains the illusion. Waking up gasping is what breaks the contract. I was placed in the display case. The smell was strong. Lilies and a polymer spray to mask any scent of the living. Rice leaned over me. "And the most important rule, Matthias. Rule 4, go over it in your mind. The Duvals have a history. The job exists for a practical reason. In billionaire families, the body of a recently deceased patriarch or matriarch is worth more than gold bars. There are theft attempts for DNA extraction, enemies who want to desecrate the corpse for revenge, and the press that would pay millions for a photo of the dead face. So the family cremates or freezes the real body minutes after death, and I get into the coffin for the public wake. Sorry to disappoint you, but every famous person you've seen at a televised funeral wasn't the real famous person. I get paid to lie down, motionless, while strangers cry, scream, and occasionally try to steal the cufflinks from my suit. Usually the rule book is 5 pages long. For the Duval family job, the manual. The job exists for a practical reason. In the world of avant-garde art, hyper-realism is everything. For billionaire collectors, owning a biostatic sculpture is the ultimate status symbol. But these installations are fragile. Sabotage attempts from rival artists, critics trying to expose the trick, and the media desperate for a scoop are common. So the collectors hire performers like me. I become the art. I get paid to remain perfectly still while patrons whisper, stare, and occasionally try to touch the exhibit to see if it's real. Usually the performance guide is 5 pages. For the Duval collection, the manual I received had 50. I was in the calibration room, shivering, while the technical director, a man named Mr. Rice, applied a layer of cool, conductive gel to my skin. "Pay attention, Matthias," Rice said. "The Duvals are purists. They demand perfection. The pay is triple the standard, but the rules of bio-engagement are absolute. Did you memorize Section 4? "I did," I replied, my teeth chattering. "Repeat it mentally now to refresh." I took a deep breath. Rule 1, total thermal signature control. The exhibit must maintain a constant cool temperature. You will wear a subdermal cooling suit to lower your skin temperature. If anyone touches you, they must not feel the warmth of a living person. Under no circumstances are you to sweat. If you feel perspiration, you must trigger the micro switch in your palm so the display's climate system can neutralize it. Perspiration is a sign of biological activity, and that is forbidden during the performance. Rice picked up a small applicator. I extended my arm. He pressed it against my skin. It wasn't painful. It was a biofeedback inhibitor designed to suppress involuntary muscle twitches.
Jenny had always been afraid of the dark. She had lost her sight at a young age, and the world had always been a scary place for her. But she had learned to cope, and she had always felt safe as long as she was with her husband. He was her rock, her guide, and she trusted him with all her heart. So when he went away on a business trip, leaving her alone in their house, Jenny was terrified. She had never been alone before, and the thought of it filled her with dread. But she knew that she had to be strong. She was a grown woman, and she couldn't let her fears get the best of her. So she went about her day, doing all the things she normally did. She cooked meals, cleaned the house.
It was midnight when Ollie was riding home on his bike. Suddenly, he noticed a small market still open. Every shop was glowing with light, but strangely, there was no sound, no customers. Curious, Ollie stopped his bike. In one shop sat an old man wearing a white kurta with completely white eyes. Ollie asked, "Why is this market open at this hour?" The old man smiled faintly and said, "We only open for those who arrive before their time." Ali didn't understand, and he saw a girl at a tea store waving at him, as if calling him over. Her clothes looked old, but her face was pale and cold. He took a step forward, and then noticed a sign hanging at the corner of the market, "The Last Bazaar, only for the dead." His heartbeat raced when he turned around. Every shopkeeper was staring at him, and every single one had pure white eyes. He jumped on his bike and tried to speed away, but behind him, the old man's voice echoed, "You came before your time, son. Now how will you go back?" The lights flickered, and the next moment, everything went dark. The next morning, when police found his bike, 7 families adopted the same sweet little girl. All of them died mysteriously within months. No witnesses, no survivors, just one thing in common. The same smiling child. They called her Lily. 6 years old. Quiet. Pale. Always clutched a worn-out doll. Her first foster parents died in a freak fire. The second, a murder-suicide. The third, drowned in their bathtub. Each time, Lily was found safe. No scratches, no trauma, just quietly sitting and smiling. After the 7th death, Child Services shut down her case files. Something didn't feel right. That's when one social worker, Aisha, broke protocol. She dug into Lily's records. There was no birth certificate, no hospital records. The first file came from an abandoned church, where Lily was found alone, surrounded by dead animals, and symbols carved in the walls. Aisha installed a camera in Lily's room when she was placed in her 8th home. That night, at exactly 3:33 a.m., the footage showed Lily standing in front of the camera, smiling. Her eyes rolled back. Whispers filled the audio, a language no one could understand. Then, static. By morning, the couple was dead, and Lily sitting by their bed, still smiling. Do you think Lily was cursed, or something far darker? Comment below. This is the sound in the wall. A girl was home alone one night when she heard some scratching in the walls of her bedroom. She ignored it at first, but then it started to get louder. So she got a drill and made a hole in the wall to see what was going on. To her surprise, she saw an eye staring back at her. At first she thought it was a trick of the light. Maybe there was a bug or a lizard in there. But then the eye blinked, and she realized that there was something else behind that wall. Something that was watching her. She tried to scream, but no sound came out. She was frozen in fear as she watched the eye move around in its socket. Then it did something even more terrifying. It reached out a finger and slowly began to open the door.